let's start with Shelton Henderson, man. I know we have football stuff to talk about, but this is a 5-star player ranked number 21 on the composite, number 14 according to 247 Sports, 6'6", 220 from Bel Air High School, same high school as somebody we know, right? Pete? Jay Lucas, I believe, is a Bel Air grad that they're in Houston. So that's something to keep an eye on when you look at this recruitment. But anyway, Shelton Henderson was committed to Duke. Of course, Jay Lucas is primary recruiter.
He was signed. He was actually signed
to Duke. I'm sorry, and has now gotten out of his letter of intent. This happens in basketball more often than it happens in football. But this guy right here,
Dallas Wilson, just did this with Florida and Oregon recently.
That's true, but not as common. It happens in basketball more often. But when you look at this kid, Pete, 6'6", 220, much better ball handler than I expected when I really dove in on the tape. Super smart and great character from everything you hear about him. He's a Duke kid. So, you assume that there's a lot of character vetting on the front end. Kind of reminds me a little bit, Pete, of Justice Winslow. I know that's not your favorite player, but a really good college player, champion, played in the NBA a long time. And he's got,
from a physical standpoint, for sure. I think offensively, he might have more to his game offensively right now than Winslow had in the league.
Well, look, Winslow, another Houston product, who I think he's been compared to, not just by me, but by people in Houston. Winslow was always a good ball handler, right? Always a really smart player on offense. His weakness was he didn't have the biggest hands, so his finishing was kind of weak. Whereas I think with Henderson, he has stronger hands, so he's a better finisher around the basket than Winslow was, but really much more of a guard type of skill set than I thought going in. I thought he was going to be just a big, kind of like how, remember we talked about Daquan Jones before the show, as far talking about some of these 5-star recruits that Miami signed. I expected more of like a Daquan Jones type athletic player. This guy has a lot of game. And I think if Miami's able to get this done, I know you got reporting on this, this would be an instant impact.
Yeah, look, there's already crystal balls from I just saw from a Maryland insider for him to land in Miami. And honestly, as soon as the Jay Lucas news came out, the Duke message boards kind of all said Henderson's the one to watch for. Obviously, the speculation has been with the Boozers, the ties here in Miami, and the Columbus stuff. But the Duke fans, I think, for a while have kind of I don't know if expected, but have said if someone's gonna move, it'll be him. As we watch, the tape here, and again, you add him potentially to what he's already brought in, and it's a really, really nice piece. I had something else here that I was gonna bring up. And Christianville said he says Duke fans killing Jay Lucas in their message boards because of this, but look, a lot of fans said right away that this was a possibility. So I don't really understand Duke fans getting on him. This is a guy potentially, again, same high school, same hometown. So
yeah, and I think when you watch this guy, what jumps to me from a basketball, so look at the strength to push off there. Probably a foul, but I like the strength and the physicality.
Kyle says, "Can I be a fan later?" He was critical of the Jay Lucas hire, but
we'll let you back on the bandwagon.
No, man. Look, this is at the end of the day, D. As we'll continue breaking this player down, but you hire Jay Lucas. What did we say was going to be at the premium talent acquisition? And this is not a done deal yet. It looks like it's trending in that direction, but he's done what they said he was brought in to do.
Look at the physicality there too to finish. Now I want the Miami Heat to, obviously I want the Miami Heat to win tonight and make the playoffs, but now I really want that pick next year so we can draft this kid. Because this kid's got Miami Heat written all over him. The way I guess I got to check the timing of this when we have our pick again. But he just seems like that kind of player, just with his ability to play both sides.
Look at him initiate. Look at him like you said, as a ball handler, just like pressuring him. Not really, he's the best player on the floor, but this is a skill set you like to see, man. Look at him running the show in transition.
He's very laterally quick. Again, just watching, I was up way too late last night.
Christianville says he reminds me more of Paul George than Winslow.
It could be. Paul George wasn't as strong as this guy. Paul George maybe was a little smoother on offense, but we'll see. This guy's ball handling. There you see it. I really see this guy as even if he defends small forwards because of his size, I really see him more as a guard in terms of how he's
and
used.
look at him. I mean, he's posting up a lot. So if he's playing shooting guard, he's going to get some mismatches, and the potential lineups, man, are starting to get very interesting. You add Timotej Malovic in the mix as a stretch guy, as a wing player. You have Malik Renau, as we know, can play the 4 or the 5 even. So these are some versatile players that you'd be adding to the mix.
I love how he's just pushing guys off. He's fighting guys. He's clearly
Strong
not afraid to be fit. That's the big difference between Winslow. I think I really see a lot of Winslow, but the hand strength is a major difference here. I don't see a spectacular. I mean, he's a very good athlete. I don't see somebody who's like his head's not at the rim level. He's not one of these like Daquan Jones who we talked about earlier. He's not that kind of jumper, but just the skill level is just, I mean, look at that handle, man. This guy is a real ball handler. You know what he kind of reminds me of when he attacks the basket? Not overall game necessarily, but just the way he scores and attacks. Do you remember Born Ready Lance Stevenson?
Do I remember? That's a very that's like my era of basketball with him and J.R. Smith. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Born Ready was unbelievable.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I'm not saying he's gonna the whole package of the Born Ready. He had some strengths and some weaknesses.
Yeah, Born Ready had a bag on him.
But just the ball handling for being such a physically strong player, and the fact that he's not an above the rim. I mean, he can what disrespect from D Money.
I have a Lance Stevenson Charlotte Hornets jersey.
Lance Stevenson disrespect, and they got play in the league.
I have to pull up old tweets from me when I'm talking about Lance Stevenson.
And maybe his all-around game is more than Lance Stevenson.
No, disrespect like that. It's disrespect meaning that like you're asking me, do I remember him?
Oh, of course. Okay. But I think the thing with him is when you look at the character stuff, and again, I don't know the kid. I'm just digging deep into the background. People are saying I watched a few interviews with him, watched Charles Davis did a little special on him. So I was up way too late last night studying this player because it seems like he's going to be a key part of this rebuild. The fact that he's competitive, he's physical, he wants to get better. Everybody loves him over there. So, and of course, Duke typically will vet a lot of character on the front end with their players. You feel very, very good. And think back to the press conference we had with Jay Lucas. He said, I want to protect Florida. I want to get local ties strengthened. Obviously bringing in, a lot of local coaches, right, to the fold, bringing in some local players. But he also said, I want to get a defensive identity. And when you talk about, Uday, when you talk about True, when you talk about Trey Donaldson, the physicality he brings as a football playing kind of character, Dante Allen, physical, plays defense, and potentially Shelton Henderson, who's a clear two-way player, you have really improved the strength of your team, physical strength, and also the defensive acumen of your team. And I think that's something he said he was going to do. That was something that was clearly lacking last year. And we're seeing that come together a little bit here.